So I don't have very much time to waste right now because I don't have very much time to record this. We're going to get right into it, and this is completely non-scripted, so if I'm stuttering any or forget what I'm saying, I have to think for a second. Sorry about that in advance. But anyway, two pieces of news within the past few weeks from Nintendo. First is with Breath of the Wild, Zelda Breath of the Wild, that there will be no more DLC. The second DLC pack, the Champion's Ballad, that is the last one. And honestly, my thoughts on this, I saw it coming. I kind of knew the whole time there would only be two DLC packs because that's all they announced. I was personally hoping there was more, and I'm still disappointed that there's not more because, I mean, it's funny because I don't have a single Divine Beast yet because that's how much time I've spent exploring. It's just such a massive game. But I still wish that there were more DLC packs other than just two. But the good thing is they have started working on another Zelda game, so that's always a thing. And I kind of knew when they said they were working on a new Zelda game, they probably weren't working on any more DLC packs, even though I kind of already knew that because they only announced them. So I kind of knew this was coming, but I'm still disappointed because I would have wanted to see more. The other one is I'm completely surprised by. I didn't expect this at all, and that's with ARMS. Version 5 came out, I think, today, or maybe just a few days ago, with the new Dr. Coyle character, and that's it. There will be no more updates to ARMS ever, so I still don't have the game, and I already know that when I do buy the game, I get what I get now. There aren't going to be any more updates for ARMS, which, that's unfortunate. I expected it to be like Splatoon, where it kept getting updates a lot. They said major updates, so no new characters or stages, but maybe a few new ARMS at some point. I'm not exactly sure. Bug fixes for sure. Yeah, I didn't see this coming at all. It's kind of random. It really surprised me. I wasn't expecting it at all. But it kind of makes sense if you really think about it, because, I mean, ARMS is not a dead game, I don't think. But most people think it is. And it didn't hit very well. I mean, 1-2 Switch has sold more copies than it. I mean, come on. So, it's quite disappointing for Nintendo. It was supposed to be the big new IP for the Switch, and Splatoon 2 just kind of took it over. So it makes sense that they don't put any more of their energy and effort toward updating the game, especially since the update's free. They're not going to be able to squeeze any more money out of you for DLC or anything. So it makes sense that they're not updating ARMS anymore, but at the same time, I'm still disappointed. I wish they would, so that eventually, if I do ever get it, then I know there's more content. But they have done a good job. 5 versions, that's 4 updates of new content, and I'm pretty cool with that. So, now I kind of want to talk about what this means for the future going into 2018. And it's good. Breath of the Wild, it's obvious where all those people went. They've already said they started developing a new Zelda game, and so obviously they probably reassigned, like, everybody that was working on the Breath of the Wild DLC has probably been reassigned to the new Zelda game, which I have confidence that this one won't take very long. You know, Breath of the Wild took absolutely forever. But that was because they were reinventing the formula and HD and all sorts of fancy stuff that they now know how to do, and they just reinvented the formula this year. They're probably not going to try and do it again. So I feel like this Zelda game, the new one, it's not going to take very long to develop, and I think it will be out, not next year for sure, but at some point soon, within the next 3 or 4 years, I think it'll be out, and it'll probably make it to the Switch. I don't think it's going to get pushed to whatever the next Nintendo console is. So that's good. We can look forward to probably another Zelda game on the Switch. Now, we don't really know anything about it at this point. We don't know. It could go back to the traditional Zelda mechanics, or it could stick with, I think it would more likely to stick with a Breath of the Wild style. Is it a direct sequel or not? I'm not sure. There's not really much speculating I can do on this, because I haven't played that many Zelda games. Breath of the Wild is really the only Zelda game I've played. But if any of you guys are bigger Zelda fans and you can speculate down in the comments, I'd love to read through that, and that would be really fun to see. Now, what confuses me is, where are the people from ARMS going to go? I mean, we know a few games upcoming from Nintendo. Like, there's going to be a Fire Emblem game on the Switch. Pokemon's not at Nintendo. That's Game Freak. It's a different company. Metroid Prime. None of those sound like something that the ARMS developers would be assigned to, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on. Could they be planning something new? We don't know that much going on for 2018. We know, like, Kirby and Yoshi and possibly a Fire Emblem game. I think that's about all we know at this point, though. So 2018 seems really empty. They could do the same thing they did this year and just announce a bunch of stuff in January we had no idea was coming. So I'm not exactly sure about that. Could there be another new IP coming? I'm not sure because of how badly ARMS. It didn't flop, I don't guess, because I don't think they lost any money there, but it didn't do too well. So I'm not exactly sure if they're like if they're gonna try another IP after what happened with ARMS, or is it like I bet you they've already started. They haven't said anything, but I bet they're at some point they're gonna start working on Super Mario Odyssey 2. There's just so many possibilities for what could be going on in the future, but I'm not really sure. Are they hiding something for next year? Because we don't really have, other than maybe a Fire Emblem game, there's not really any heavy hitters for next year. So I'm kind of dumbfounded as to what's going on right now. It's kind of confusing, but I think that since these development teams have probably been reassigned to something else, I think this means we can expect a lot more for the future. I mean, obviously we're still getting updates to Splatoon 2, and that is good stuff, but no more updates for those games. And like right at the end of 2017, I mean, if this was any other point in the year, I don't think I'd care as much, but just suddenly at the end of 2017 they disband stop working on 2 games. That makes me think maybe they're planning something else. I'm not sure. So again, I'd love to read your guys' speculation down in the comments as to what exactly Nintendo could be planning for 2018. I honestly have no idea. I thought I was going to make a productive video about all the possibilities, but I don't know. Personally, I'd hope for Odyssey 2, but that's not going to be developed in 1 year. It's going to take longer than that. Metroid Prime 4, we know is going to take forever. Zelda game just started development, so it's not going to be ready next year. Pokemon's not at Nintendo. Like, I've gone through everything in my head, and it just doesn't make any sense. Animal Crossing, maybe, possibly. We got an Animal Crossing smartphone game, and it would make sense to follow that up by a big Animal Crossing game on the Switch, so that people who got the mobile game and liked it would then go buy the Switch to play the full game, if you know what I mean. That's kind of how, I guess that was a strategy behind Pokemon Go when that was the thing, and Super Mario Run. So, yeah, I'm not exactly sure. It's just all kind of messy at this point. We don't know what's going on in 2018. There doesn't seem to be that much going on in 2018. But again, speculate in the comments. I'd love to read it and respond to it all, and what exactly is happening next year. And hopefully I'll see you guys in another video soon. Christmas is really close, so Merry Christmas, guys. Hopefully I'll have a lot of content for you after Christmas. Exams just wrapped up. I had an exam like the Thursday before Christmas. That's just kind of ridiculous. But anyhow, that stuff's wrapped up now, so I can probably get some more content out to you guys. Live streams are really fun to do. Hopefully, I have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe now, so we can do that. Splatoon 2, I'd love to play with some viewers. Just so make sure you're subscribed and have your notifications enabled so you don't miss anything. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.